Okay, today's Agile Nudge is all about minimum viable product, MVP. I've been running a bit of a test in the last few days. I've been asking all the people I work with, whenever I hear the word MVP, I say, what does it mean? And the answer is almost always minimum viable product. But what does that actually mean? That's what it stands for, but what does it mean? Well, there's a bit of history for you. It came initially from Steve Blank, I think 2003, quite a while ago. And then Eric Ries, in his book Lean Startup, talks about MVP and the story of his startups in California. And then his most recent book, In the Startup Way, he went into more detail and he said, you know, most people misuse the word MVP. So I would like to explain my understanding of it now. Before we do that, let's quickly talk about the iron triangle in Scrum. We have time, scope, and quality. No, we don't. We have time, scope, and cost, with quality in the middle. What I just described before was time, cost, and quality is from the project management body of knowledge. In Scrum, we say time, scope, and cost, and in the middle is quality. Now, the thing is, if you were to fix time, you need to change either these or those. You can't fix all three, because if you do, the one thing you change, one thing you vary is quality. It often makes more sense to fix time, because you can deliver something now and the rest later, or you could deliver nothing now and the rest later. And I know most people would like something now. So scope is a thing we qualify. Now, most of the time people say this is what MVP is. We've got all of these things on our backlog, and by release date we could probably do these, so let's call this MVP. And I suppose there's a general understanding of what we mean by that, but MVP means something much deeper. When we're developing products for real customers, we have what's known as a leap of faith assumption. We assume a customer will use our product, or we may assume that a certain technology will work in a certain way. How do you know? You need metrics, you need to run an experiment, and you need to do it in a scientific way. So you have a hypothesis, you have baseline metrics, you run the experiment, and then you close the experiment with that data. Often people say, hey, let's just try this, we don't know if it'll work, call it an experiment. But that's not a true experiment, because what have you learned and how do you know? So this is called a LOFA, a leap of faith assumption. We're making assumptions all of the time. So within our backlog of products, we may have many leap of faith assumptions, and this is the true definition of an MVP. The MVP will validate those assumptions. We will have data to say, yes, this is what the customer will respond to, or yes, the customer will behave in a certain way, or the user or the technology will work. So those are the assumptions that we validate, and that's a true MVP. We need to think like that. If we just casually use MVP in what we can get done in a certain space of time, I don't believe that's a true use and meaning of the word. Because I hear the word MVP all the time, and what I'm hearing is we've got a fixed date, we'll see what we can do until then. So iron triangle, big in Scrum, we want a fixed time and we can vary scope or cost. If we don't, it's the quality that suffers, and it's the least transparent of all three. And an MVP is to validate the leap of faith assumption. MVP, minimum viable product.